made it to holiday part 3. Thank you. I wanted to let you know that I've got the tree back. These videos are being done by me and by my husband, who's helping me do this. And I'm not an influencer. I'm not a person that is used to doing any of this. Before I started doing these videos, I've never even taken a selfie. So it's new for me. But the reason I'm doing this is because many years ago, after my son died, I literally started to create a nonprofit, and I wanted to move forward with that. The pandemic happened. I've had a lot of health issues. Unexpected things happened. I lost my daughter-in-law, who was on the board of director, and she had all the usernames and passwords basically in her mind, and they weren't written down. So everything that had been worked on, it just wasn't going to, happen. So because of that, that is the reason I'm now taking the time to make these videos while I'm also trying to work on my health. I'm not able to work at this time, and I thought, let me do the things that I had wanted to do when I wanted to create this nonprofit to help every single human being in grief. So this is the reason why that you're seeing that this is not a professional thing. So please understand that. And in talking about that, this last thing I want to speak about in regards to the holidays is about loneliness. And I know that a lot of people in grief that have lost a lot of family members, that happens as we get older. I'm currently dealing with a lot of that in my own family. And it's hard. It's very hard to watch generations, to lose the generations ahead of us or those within our own peer group. It's difficult. I understand that. And it's specifically hard for people in grief to figure out how to reconnect, how to get back into life, what that looks like. Now, each person watching this video has a different circumstance. So I can only generalize this. So if you are someone who is not able to get out of the home and you're having in-home care and things like that, that's not something I can really speak on because your situation is very different. What I am going to speak on is for those that can get back out but might be choosing not to get back out. And that's that isolating thing. That's that tower of grief, or the grief tower, for you to take a look at. That's another video. But this is about trying to get back into life, back into our family existence, those that are still around us, with friends, neighbors, co-workers, things of that nature. So you have the opportunity. It's within you. Again, it is not somebody else's responsibility to bring you out of your grief. You can get help through therapists and organizations. There's a lot of things out there. But also, there are a lot of things out there that will keep you in grief. And this is the reason why I had originally, 8 years ago, wanted to start my own nonprofit, because I had seen this happening. I still see it happening, and it literally broke my heart, because when we are in grief, we are the most raw, we're the most accessible. We can be easily swayed because dealing with our grief is a monster in itself. So sometimes we're trying to find other ways to unburden ourselves from that monster. And so the example I'm going to give you is, seeing that it is Christmas and we know the story of the trains and things like that, and children love trains, is I'm going to give you an imagery of you having to find the right fit for you. So there are a lot of different trains out there. Some trains are going to let you on the train and eventually want to help you get through the villages and all the places that you're trying to get to your destination, which would be to process your grief and be able to continue a life with those around you. There are other trains that basically will want to keep all the passengers on that specific train and will just be adding road cars, passenger cars, so that that train keeps getting bigger and bigger, so that train is continually fed by the financial gain of those that are on that passenger train. And sometimes that is done by letting those passengers think or believe that this is the only method or way of processing grief. And in some instances, that keeps people in grief. Because if you keep them in grief, then they're not going to get off the train. They're never going to get to their destination. And that's something that truly, truly bothered me. And this is the reason why I am creating, and I will continue to create these videos until the day I die, is to make sure that people have access to looking at things from all different perspectives so that they can make better decisions on how they want to process their grief, and not have a specific train or a train conductor keeping them in that. And what I mean by that is, if you are in a grief situation and you are involved with organizations or anything that are keeping you in that by having you relive that death event of that loved one over and over and over again, that doesn't help us process out. What we want to do is we want to be able to, as people in grief, to get off of that train in different stops. We want to be able to be active with the other people on the train and doing things with them and going to events outside of the train. But for those type of grief organizations that want to keep us on the train, and then we only make friends with those passengers, we're not able to get off at the destination and make friends with people in the coffee shop or make friends with people in the village, then we're not learning how to process and start back to life. So I'm just giving you information to help you make a decision in your grief if you want to learn how to process it, if you want to be able to move on, if you want to reconnect with family and friends, if you wanted to only buy the ticket to get to one destination and you got on a train that is keeping you in the process, not letting you get past the death state of that loved one. You may think that those passengers around you who are all still doing that same thing, that this builds a camaraderie. But what it's doing is it's building a camaraderie just in death. It's not necessarily building a camaraderie with those that are still of the living. So we have to be able to find other significant happenings within our lives with people, with the living. We have to step into that. We cannot isolate ourselves just on one train with one thought process. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to actually process our grief. And again, this is just something I want you to think about, because I see it all the time in social media. I see so many people that have lost significant loved ones 5 years ago, 13 years ago, 20 years ago. And they literally are in the same moments of that death occurrence in their lives, in their social media, in their family dynamics. And that is their focus. And if you personally want to focus on finding yourself again and being able to assimilate back to everything, that's my goal for you. That's my goal to help you do that. So please understand that's why these videos are being made, and that it's truly made with every ounce of love and compassion that I have inside of myself. And I, again, will keep on doing this until I can't any longer. So please have a great day, have a great holiday, and make tomorrow a much better day.